How's it going, guys? Welcome to another Soul Encoded tutorial. Today we're going over our HTML Foundation solution videos. So if you guys have seen my HTML Foundations video, you guys should now understand how to use tags, elements, attributes to be able to start creating simple static websites. Now we're going to go over the challenge. It's just one challenge that's broken into a couple parts. I have provided a design for it. It's very simple. I just want you guys to start getting in the habit of thinking in divs and what a standard website skeleton might look like. So let's take a look at the designs that I provided. Right here, we have this class website, this div that surrounds this entire content. We have a header right here, it looks like, where it says my first website. We have this about me section where we have an image tag and a link tag here. And we also have a list of some sorts where it's under a div called skills, and then we finally have like an input of some sorts. So these are kind of like the main components of building websites. There are definitely many other tags that you'll end up using and many attributes and things like that, but these are kind of just like the fundamental ones that you need to understand. So without further ado, let's start diving into the challenge. So I have gone and created this just basic HTML boilerplate, which is just the HTML tag that defines that this particular document that is getting parsed is an HTML file. The header tag, if you know, the head tag, sorry, if you know from the lesson, it's where you put in metadata, links, and other information about the website. Basically things that the user does not see, but you really need to get a lot of the functionality and like search optimization things. Those kind of information will live in the head tag. Now the most important thing for you for this challenge is everything that goes inside the body tag. The body tag is essentially where all the content where users see will live. And so let's start by creating a div here and div here. And let's not worry about classes just yet. Let's just go ahead and create the skeleton first. So let's look at the design. So it looks like there's one div that encompasses everything, and then there's a h1 or some header tag. So let's just use h1 right in here, h1, and then we'll say my first website, like so. And then we'll refresh and we have this my first website. Now let's create this next div right here in green, which is the about me section. And notice that I am going to create it right inside this first div, because if you look over here, this website, this div in blue is essentially the outside div. Now we could just have used the body tag as the outside div, but for now let's just use div as the outside container, and then basically the child divs will be this h1 tag, and then this about me div, and then this skills div, and then this contacts me div. So let's go ahead and create first the about me. So about me, and we'll worry about the class, adding the class attributes later. And then in here, if we look back, we had an image tag. So let's go ahead and add an image. And images, we need a source. So let me go and grab some image real quick. So I just grabbed the AutoCAD and I pasted it in there. And let's take a look. And there we go. We have our AutoCAD. Let's look at the div, and then we have my name is, and then we have John Kim in bold. So that looks like a paragraph tag to me. So let's go ahead and do that. My name is John, but notice we had a bold right here in line. So let's go back to our designs. Oops. Refresh the page. My name is John, and it looks like there's a last name there too. Let's go ahead and add that. Okay. Let's go back to the design, and then we have a you can add me, and then we have this link here. So that looks like an anchor tag with an href. So let's go ahead and create that. You can add me on GitHub, for example. And then we're going to create an anchor tag here. And in here, we're going to say href equals. So right here, let's add, the GitHub URL. And then we'll just, inside the anchor tags, let's put here. And then when we're down here, when you click this, we'll go to github.com. And as you can see, it's loading it for us. And let's just go back to our designs. And then we're done with the About Me section. So let's create the skills section. So right after the sibling of the About Me section, let's create the skills section. And it looks like there's a smaller header. So let's try using H2. Remember the head tag, the H1 tag, it goes from H1 to H6, H1 being the largest and H6 being the smallest. So let's do H2. And then we'll say my skills, like so. And then down here, it looks like we have an unordered list. Now, if you guys remember, there's order list versus unordered list. And for our case, we have an unordered list. And here, let's add a few list items. And we could just say, programming. Oops. We could say biking, video games, whatever you want. And come down here, let's refresh the page, and we'll have we had just finished the My Skills page or section. Let's go to the next, and then now we have a form and an input, and it looks like there's a label here, and then there's like the submit input, and there's this input field where you could add things. So in the sibling of the other sections, let's go ahead and create a form like so. We'll create a label and we'll call it email, and the input like so, and maybe we'll just give it the name email, and then here we'll say input, and then we'll say type equals submit. Then when we refresh, we'll have our email section all done. Now we're going to do the final part of the challenge, which was adding our styles. Now if you look at the style directory, I've added a very basic website section and an About Me section, and I'm styling the image. Now if we go back, so let's look in our class website, and it looks like the top level is class website, and then this second part right here is About Me. So let's go ahead and add those classes to our divs. So we have website here, and then this is the very top level div. So we'll add website to there, and we'll add About Me to this first section right here that has the image, our image. Now when we refresh this will actually not change any of the website. Now why is that? It's because while our style sheet is here, we need to link our styles into the HTML file for the changes to take effect. So let's go ahead and do that. So we do that in the head tag. Inside the head tag, we could call the link tag here, like so. And then we'll say rel equals style sheet, and then type equals text CSS, and then href equals, and then now we gotta do a relative path. And then a relative path is just basically, if my index.html file is in this directory, where is style CSS file in relative to this particular file? So it's just in the same directory, and it's called style.css. Now that we have linked this style sheet, when we go back to our website and refresh, now if you notice, our website has been styled to match the designs that we have, which is right here. So let's just kind of compare them side by side real quick, like so. Sorry, my face is a little too big, so I'll make that a little smaller. Like so, we have the My First Website, and we have this image, we have our name, we have this link, we have my skills, and we have this form. So that's essentially the challenge. That's a very simple way we created this website. Now we also added a style sheet to the website so that we can edit it, select different styles, add more styles. So take this, play around with it, try to incorporate different tags that you learn and different attributes into these tags, and just go crazy with it. You know, make your own very first website essentially. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this lesson, and I'll see you guys in the next video.